Hey guys, welcome to Long Life Trainer. My name is James Long. I am here today to tell you about what you need for training, what you need for boxing to get started, and just throughout your career or through your hobby. If it's a hobby for you, I believe it's always a hobby. I believe it's always a hobby. If you're even if you're a professional, it's a hobby because it's the your life in boxing is like that. Okay, so to me, it's always a hobby. If you make some money on it, God bless. It's great. Um, anyway, so these are the essentials. These are the essential things that you'll need for boxing. What you'll need, and the little tidbits is what I've used and I've seen. I learned from guys when I first started. When I first started, I got thrown into this business. I loved it, and I just dove in, and I was pretty bold, and I went to the real shows. I went to the real deals and got my ass handed to me a few times until I learned. But I got to learn a lot of things from a lot of guys that are freaking legends and the way they did it. And I took bits and pieces of every fighter that I was in camp with, every fighter that I trained with, every fighter that I sparred with in camps, every trainer that I have learned from, every trainer that has trained me, every trainer that I've been around. I watched, I learned, and I took up pieces from everyone, and I put together this beast, which is my training regimen, the way that I do it, the equipment that I believe you should use. Not, it kind of could, no, this is what you should use. And I'm very strict on it because I have been boxing since 88, and I have been in the business all the way up until 2020, and I stepped back because 2020 and all hell broke loose. The government decided to do what they did. So anyway, we won't talk anymore about that. So whatever is whatever. So this is it. This is what. Now let's get started here, guys. First things first. Gloves. Everybody wants to wonder about the gloves. What gloves you need for training gloves. Now, the greatest, most expensive, and the greatest gloves out there are winning gloves. Everybody wants to see the winnings, and they look all cool, and hey, look at me. If I'm putting a pair of gloves on that's worth like $400 to $600 sometimes, and I'm gonna hit those things on a bag, get sweaty and gross and bleed and get really, I don't know about you. But the way I grew up, if I got something that's worth a lot of money, I'm not going to bang it around and ding it up. So I got a pair of winning gloves one time, and they were from Canelo. Yes, Alvarez. Canelo. I got them from him. Training camp. The company would bring him just a box of, God, there's a huge box, and it was full of winning gloves for him to train with when he started camp, every camp. So he had an old pair, and they were old pair. He used them for maybe one camp, a few times, and he let me have them. I used them until I couldn't use them anymore. Anyway, so pair of gloves. Let's get to it. Pair of gloves you need. Get a cheaper pair of gloves, not the cheap Walmart kind. Don't go there. Okay, you go Ringside. I don't know if these companies are still in business, so bear with me. Sorry about the light. I go Title, Ringside. I use Ringside gloves. Now I don't know if that company's still going. I have to look, but Ringside is the equipment I use because man, it was durable. For training, yes, I used Ringside and Title. Ringside is what I use, but they have Title now, and Title's done a little better for itself. Other than that, you got Everlast. You got just stay away from the Walmarts, guys. Okay, get online, go on Title. You'll find it, Title Boxing, and then there's Ringside. Like I said, I don't know if Ringside is still going. They might have been bought out by Title or something, or Everlast. I don't know. Anyway, those are the gloves you need. Now, bag training. Heavy bag training, okay? You're on the heavy bag. You're training heavy bag work. 18-ounce gloves. I know you look at me. Come on, man. Were you crazy? Were you crazy? That's not gonna. And I've had professional fighters come to me and say, "Hey, man, that didn't work. It doesn't work. 18-ounce gloves, man, they don't make you any faster. They don't make you any stronger." Bullshit. I've done it for years. I call bullshit on every one of you. I know it does. You're fucking lazy. That's why you said that. Excuse my French. Let me repeat myself. Everybody out there, prize fighters, millionaires that have made money in boxing, I don't give a shit who you are. If you come to me and you tell me training in 18-ounce gloves did not make you faster, stronger somewhat, but faster, and the ability to throw punches at a higher speed and more accurate, didn't make you a better fighter, and you're going to tell me it didn't? I call bullshit because I know you are full of shit. All right? End of story. I don't give a shit who it is comes to me. I don't care if Mike Tyson comes here. Ali comes from the grave and says, no, it doesn't do anything. Yes, it does. And to be honest with you, I guarantee you that they would say, yes, it does. 18-ounce gloves will make you a better fighter. Faster, stronger. You'll have more endurance. Punch endurance was what you need. 18-ounce gloves on a heavy bag. End of story. If you're a small kid, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 even maybe. 12 is where you make that turning point, depending on your size. Then you stick with the 14s and the 16s maybe. But 18-ounce gloves. You're a grown man. 18-ounce gloves. You're in high school. 18-ounce gloves. You're out of high school. 18-ounce fucking gloves. Okay? To train heavy bag work. Mitt work. Mitt work should be done in 16-ounce gloves. 16-ounce gloves. If you want to, throw the 18s on, just a little bit of a bitch. Because you're working with your mitt guy trying to shoot gaps and he's trying to help you. So I say 16s. 16s for mitt work. All right. For sparring, 16s or 14s depending on your weight division, depending on your on who you're sparring. If you're sparring a newbie, hey, if you're sparring a newbie and you've been boxing for a while, you're gonna throw on the 18s, all right, or at least 16s and take it easy. If you're equal and this sumbitch over here is trying to throw on some 14s, put your 14s on. Let's go. Other than that, it's pretty much standard. You spar in 16-ounce gloves. Always has been. All right. Anyway, let's move past the gloves. Shoes. Now listen, if you're starting the sport, you're just starting to get into it, man. You're starting to get into it. You do not need to go out, run out, and find the first pair of boxing boots that you saw Mayweather in the last fight, or you saw Canelo Alvarez in the last fight. You don't need to do that. Buy some nice running shoes, light, not heavy. I say stay away from Reeboks. And yes, even Reebok's boxing shoes, like the same ones that Floyd Mayweather wore back in the day. A lot of people see those, oh yeah, they're slick, they're cool, they're yo. No. Reebok shoes are way too heavy. I don't give a shit if they're running shoes, hiking boots, if they're jogging, running basketball shoes. Reeboks are way too heavy. End of story. So you can love my my information, or you can hate it, or you can just not know. Don't care. I'm telling you exactly the way it is. I'm not gonna mumble. I'm not gonna give you any kind of lines of bullshit. I'm gonna tell you exactly the way it is. I've been doing this too long for me to lie to you. Okay? So, and I got my list. All right? I'm not bullshitting. I wrote this list down for you. For you. Okay? So, you don't need that, especially when you start out, man. Get a nice pair of running shoes, some Nikes, some Asics, or some nice little pair of running shoes. That's it. That's all you need. Running shoes. Other than that, if you want to go get some boxing boots or whatever, go get some boxing boots. You know, make some tight. Make them stick to the same thing. Get some tight. I had titles, and then I had Reyes. Boxing boots. I wore the high boots in fights. I wore. You have no idea what it was. And then I ended up doing it because they allowed me to. In training, wrestling shoes. And they're the easiest to find, man. I tell you what, wrestling shoes were the greatest thing that I used for boxing. I love them. Because you could feel the canvas. I felt better. I could feel the canvas more. Now, with my high tops, with my high boots, I felt more stable in my ankles. I felt more stable, so I could really dig in with that punch and that body punch and stuff. But with the boxing shoes, man, with them wrestling shoes, I love them, man. I slip them on, tie them up, go. If they had little problems, sometimes the tie wasn't tying, but now they got the Velcro on the top, so you stick the tie in the Velcro and then wrap the Velcro, put the tie inside the Velcro, so you don't have that problem anymore. Back in my day, we didn't have that. We didn't have the Velcro on the wrestling shoe. Back in my day, fuck, I hate saying that. God, I feel old. Anyway, wrestling shoes for training. Other than that, you can use wrestling shoes. You used to not be able to use them for wrestling shoes for actual fights. You can now. One of my great friends, Jorge Linares, multiple world champion, Jorge Linares, he wore boxing shoes most of his career. Boxing shoes. He wore wrestling shoes for professional fights in most of his career. He just loved them. He loved the feel. He was quicker in them, and his feet are quicker than shit. Back in the day, he's an older guy now, but he still trains. He trains fighters now, I believe, too. But he's one of the best athletes, best boxers. End of story that I've ever been near and trained with him for God, years and years. Good guy, really good guy. Fucking in shape guy. Oh God, he's in shape. Anyway, so beyond that, that's all you need, guys. That's all you need. Want to go and buy some Title boxing shoes? Go to Title, low top, high top, whatever you like. Okay, but other than that, don't go crazy. Running in the beginning, get some nice running shoes. You want to get some shoes that don't cost too much. Go ahead and get some wrestling shoes. Go right down to the store, to the any one of your outlets for athletic shoes, and grab some and just pick them up. Bing, and you got them. You go to the gym. Wrestling shoes. I swear on those, and a lot of pros did it too. Okay, so wraps. We did this now on this channel. There is how to wrap your hands, and I wrapped in my hand as a professional training wrap. That's on my video. If you get on my page, my channel, it's back there. It's how to wrap a hand, and it's for training, a training wrap. So this is what you need: the 180s. Okay, 180 inches, 180 inches, and what it is, you get the 180 inches, and you get sponges. You go to the grocery store, you get yourself some sponges, house sponges, where they're soft on both sides. They're just squishy sponges. You get them wet, and you wrap your hands, put your sponge on your hands, and then wrap your hands in it. And like I said, the tutorial for wrapping your hands is on this channel. So rewind it back, go find it back in the archives there, and it's back there, wrapping your hand. It is back there. I learned from the best. Believe me, I learned from the best. A lot of those guys are no longer with us anymore. So let's move from that. Easy. Everlast 180-inch wraps. You buy at Walmart. That's something you can get at Walmart, okay? And then your sponge. Get some house sponges. Get a bunch. Get a big package, because you go through them. They stink like shit after a while. You get them, after a couple months, it's like, whoo, throw them away. All right. Anyway. Put them in the water before you put them on your hands, because they get hard, and it's not good for the hand, obviously. Anyway, so let's move on. So if you're one of those grinders like me, I like to grind my teeth. Okay, when I'm working out with weights, when I'm boxing, I like to grind my teeth. When I sleep, I grind my teeth. I try not to grind my teeth or something like that. Then get yourself a mouthpiece. If you're fighting in competition, if you're getting ready, you're a U.S. amateur, you're a professional, you're an amateur. Any kind of competition, you're fighting in competition, get a mouthpiece to train in. You need to train in a mouthpiece. Always. On the heavy bag, on the mitts, on even shadowboxing, you have to have a mouthpiece in. You have to get used to the mouthpiece. Okay? And even when you're used to it, keep it in. It's something that should always be there. Okay? Always be there. There's a double and a single. You can get the fancy one. You go to dentist, they make you spend all this goddamn money. It's ridiculous. You don't need to do that, guys. Same thing. You can go to the Walmart. You can go to your local sports store. Get the simple double mouthpiece or get a single. I always use the double. It made me feel safer. And when I got into it with somebody, it got rough, it got ugly, it got bloody, it got blood, sweat, and bruises going. I felt more stable when I felt like, let's go. You can hit me as hard as you want, ain't gonna do shit to me. I just felt better. I felt more protected with that double mouthpiece. And the double, most people don't like the double mouthpiece because you're keeping your mouth closed, but there is a slot where you can still breathe. So this is me. I say, training mouthpiece, double mouthpiece for your training mouthpiece. I think you should get the double. If you want to fight in a single, go ahead and do it. But I believe the double mouthpiece is your training mouthpiece always. And then a week before, 2 weeks before your fight, switch to your single, the one that you're going to use during the fight, and then you'll be ready. I think this is a better way to go. Anyway, that's me, okay? It's the way I did it. Like I told you, I've been around the fucking corner, so I'm not blowing it out my ass. I'm telling you exactly what's going on here. I'm not going to give you any bullshit. Because then, hey, you can come back and say, hey, this guy on this channel knows what the hell he's talking about, okay? That's not going to happen. So, cup. You got your groin protector, cup. They call it a groin protector. It's a cup, for God's sake. So, now these I love. I use this. I stuck with a Reyes. Reyes, now they're light. It's like you're putting on a pair of underwear. They're so light. They're like a feather. When I had mine, it was heavy. Like, it wasn't heavy, but I mean, it was heavy. There was some weight to it. It was weird. But anyway, now they're a little different. But I like those protectors, man. I want one that's legal, but that's big. I like them big because I put my hands in, my elbows here, and I rest my elbows right on that protector, and then bop, I'm sending shots right out, and I call it I'm sending a 2x4 out the window. I'm coming right there, just shot. So I like to set up my shop right there. I like to set my elbows right on top of that cup, that groin protector. And you got to find out whatever one you are comfortable in. I like the bigger ones, not too big, but Reyes they're expensive. Reyes is expensive. You don't need to get a Reyes. You can go with a Title, you can go with a Fighting, you can go with, there's all kinds of ones. I like the Reyes only because I like the lot there, because I like to rest right there, and I literally used it as a shelf for my elbows, and my arms were rested the entire fight until I shot a punch out. So anyway, that's cup. Yes, if you're going to fight competition, you need to train in the cup. If you're going to fight competition, obviously you're fighting in a cup. So you need to train like you fight, because you fight like you train. All right. So I got a guy in there. He's in his underwear. He's running around with gloves about like this, and he's going crazy on a bag. No mouthpiece, no headgear, nothing on. He's running around in his underwear. Come on. You fight, you train like you fight, because you fight like you train. End of story. All right? Don't bullshit yourself, okay? Don't do it. Because it's not fun waking up the next morning going, oh, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. Here we go. Headgear, okay? If you are fighting in a competition, if you are a U.S. amateur, if you are going to be in a tough man, if you're going to be in any kind of competition, or obviously if you are a professional, you're going to need it for sparring. If you're a professional, you do not need it for training. No heavy bag work, no mitt work, no. But if you're an amateur, I suggest that you get a headgear substantially bigger than the one that you wear in competition. I would like it to be heavier too. A used one. Find a used one for one of the old guys that doesn't want anymore. Buy it from them for a couple bucks or whatever. Train heavy bag work. Even mitt work if you can. In that big, just piece of shit, excuse my French, headgear. The headgear you hate putting on, and it smothers you. It feels like you can't. It feels like you can't breathe. Stuff like that. That's the one you train in, because you'll get used to it. And then when competition comes, you're going to be in that little smaller headgear that fits just right. You're going to see your eye. It's going to be the Matrix. Literally going to open your eyes and you will see the Matrix. And we like to say that, okay? We like to see you see the Matrix. You see the lines that I would tell my fighters. You see the lines on my floor when we train. You will see those lines in combat. You will see a punch coming at you. You will slip. You will go. You will see it. You will slip. You're set on this side, you'll set on that side of the line, and then you'll see a punch coming, and then you'll see all the opportunities. Everything will open. The world will open for you. Train in a heavy headgear. Some people might say something. What the fuck what the hell's wrong with you? Until they get in the ring and they see that you're eating him up. You're literally, sounds like popcorn in the ring. Pop, 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 pop. You're hitting him so much. I'm just telling you, training in a bigger headgear lobby, just a big old headgear works. It works. If you're a professional, you don't need that. Obviously, you're gonna need a nice one. I say professional. Make sure I like professional with a little bit of guard here, just because you don't want any cuts. You do not want any cuts before a fight because it'll ruin it. You'll get there, and it always happens about 2 weeks before the fight. 2-3 weeks before the fight, you'll get a cut before your fight, and then you'll have to get out. You'll have to step down. I've seen it happen. I can't even count how many times I've seen it happen. I haven't had it happen. I've had an injury to a shoulder, but I've never had it where I got a cut. But man, I've seen it happen. Anyway, let's move on. Other than that, when you're training, I like put a stocking hat on, skull cap. You got some kind of hat to hold the top of your head. Why? Because that's where all the heat dispenses. That's where all the heat. You want to hold that in. Okay. Now, if you're training in Las Vegas, like I did, all those years, it's 115. I think the hottest it was in a gym was a Top Rank gym. It got to 120. I think it was 120 degrees, 20 something, at Top Rank gym when Manny was there. Manny Pacquiao, his training. It got hot, and it was crazy. No, if you're training in the heat like that, you don't need a headgear. You don't need a skull cap or a stocking hat, for God's sake. Okay, you end up giving yourself brain damage. You won't be able to spell your own name. Okay. So gear, what to wear. Make it simple. Don't go to this fancy store and get all G'd up and wear all the fancy clothes. It costs money, and look at me, I look good, and Instagram me, and what's the other crap? Instagram me, whatever. All those things. YouTube, put me on YouTube, make me look good, do all this. Nobody gives a shit what you look like, man. All they care about is how you look when you win. If you don't win, nobody gives a shit. So, don't worry about what you wear. Worry about how you wear it. So, sweatpants. Just a pair of sweatpants. I don't care if it's 100 degrees. Pair of sweatpants. Why? You got to make weight, man. It's boxing. This is boxing. You got to make weight. Sweatpants. It doesn't matter. If it gets hot, pull those sweatpants up to your knees. Up past your calf muscle. It'll hold it. If it doesn't, you got the wrong pair of sweatpants. Okay? Sweatshirt. All right, out there in the Midwest, sweatshirt. If it's hot where you're at, like Vegas, where I trained all those years, when I was in Chicago, I did sweatshirt. When I was in Las Vegas, I did long sleeve t-shirt or t-shirt. Okay, so that's what. Don't go crazy. Just find some old t-shirts or some old. I like the long sleeve t-shirt. Now, if I'm sparring, different beast. If I'm sparring, I'm going shorts. If I have to wear sweatpants, I'll wear sweatpants. But mainly, I'm going shorts and t-shirt. Shorts and t-shirt sparring. It's all. But if you're training, sweatpants, long sleeve shirt, or sweatshirt. Real simple. Go to the Walmart. Go to the Target. Go to your local sports store. Just go to some. Not even there. Go to TJ Maxx or whatever they got. Go to some places, inexpensive clothes that you can put on. Do that. Okay, that's because you're gonna sweat. You're gonna, they're gonna be gross. Not wearing them to impress anybody. You're wearing them to extract, to hold in your body temperature, so make weight, sweat your butt off. Okay, but the biggest thing I did, and I learned from one of the old greatest, obviously everybody knows his name, is Mike Tyson. I was in camp with him at the end of his reign, end of his career. Long underwear, man. From his mouth, it's just easy. It's just easy. Just go pick up packages of long underwear at the Walmart or whatever you got. Packages. They come in those packages. Just Get long underwear, and all you do, you're done. You just slip it on like a wetsuit. Put the top on, put the bottom on, buckle your boots. Let's go to work. It's real easy, and you sweat like a madman. That's what he said, and I used it, and that's great. Just don't wear the white. I wore the white a few times, and you see right through, and yeah. So don't wear the white ones. Get the black or gray. Stay away from the white. Okay, this comes from a guy that wore the white a few times. You can see right through. Not a great day, because I sweat like a madman, and yeah, there you go. I put on the show, I think. Anyway, that's all. That's everything. Other than that, on top of everything, dude, if you're a boxer, man, I don't care if you're a kid, 8 years old, if you're 80, dude, get your own jump rope, man. Get your own jump rope, okay? Quit going to these gyms or these people. You come around, hey, can I borrow your jump rope? Hey, you guys got a jump? Have your own jump rope, man. A jump rope has to be customized to you. Some guys jump faster, some guys got a different rhythm, some guys are taller, shorter. You have to find a jump rope. I had 3 of them. You got to find a jump rope that works. You're going to go through a few. I did. All the years that I jump rope, man, I went through a few, and there was a certain type that I liked. Every time I found a type that I liked, it was one of the cheapest you could buy. It's crazy. One of the cheapest you could buy. But find a jump rope, and that's yours. Quit trying to borrow people's jump ropes. Quit trying to borrow Jim's jump ropes. You know how many people had a jump rope sweating and grabbing and sweating and grabbing? Man, find your own jump rope, okay? You want to make this something to do, find a jump rope, okay? And now this has been brought to my attention because a lot of fighters, a lot of people in general, not even boxers, just people that want to lose weight, or they want to do this, they want to do that. If you want to lose weight, and there's jump rope, okay, and that's fine. But now we're going to go beyond jump rope, road work, which is essential. If you're boxing, you need to do road work, which is running, jogging, okay, jog. I'm going to say running, we're not running from the police or anything. Jogging, okay, jogging. What you need to do is if you're just a regular folk like me nowadays, or like my wife, or just a person wanting to get in shape. If you just want to get in shape, get in better shape, okay, just getting better. You want to look better. You want to look better. Treadmill is good. Treadmill's fine. It will cut your weight. It'll slim you down. But you're going to need to do that at least in the beginning, 4 days a week. Try 3, I guess, and then jump to 4. But you're going to want to get on the jump. You're going to want to get on a treadmill about 5 days a week. And usually you want to do that fasted. We call it fasted cardio. Nothing to eat. Just get up. It's the first thing you do in the morning. I say don't save it for night. I used to run at night. That's only because of my schedule. If you have a schedule, don't take any caffeine, so you can sleep. But and that's another thing. But yeah, you want to run if you can. Fasted cardio, it works the fastest. Fasted works the fastest. It'll all work though, to lose weight. If you want to do the treadmill, if you need to do it at night, then no caffeine. But if you're doing it in the morning, take one of those pre-workouts to get you buzzing, and hit it, and you'll have a great day. It'll burn, and you'll burn weight throughout the day as well. Yeah, and then at night, do not take any caffeine. It just go ahead and hit it, but it's tougher. If you run after work or after your day's over with, it is tougher because it's, you're bagging. You're like, oh, Jesus, you're just dying. You had a whole day of work. You had a whole day of your life. You're ready to just call it, sit in front of the TV, veg out, and say forget about it. But you got to stick with it, man. So that's the tough one. But if you can do it, do it. I did it. That's what I did most of my life. Anyway, if you are in competition, or if you're fighting in competition, you're an amateur, you're a professional, you want to be, or you are, or professional fighter, an amateur fighter, you are fighting in competition. Get off the treadmill. I'll say it again. If you are a guy or girl fighting in competition, boxing in competition, get off the treadmill. The treadmill will do you no good. You might as well sit down and watch TV. Okay? The treadmill will do nothing for your cardio. Nothing. It will help you shed weight, but the amount of workouts that you're doing already with boxing, it's not going to do anything for you. You have to get out with tennis shoes on the road or in the park or wherever you need to go, and you need to run for a half an hour. You need to run for a half an hour. Jog for a half an hour. Okay? And this comes from the guys from Ali and before him all the way to now. Everybody's got these new styles. Oh, sprint here, do sprints, and then do this, and then do that, and then take this weight and put it over there. Do hop, skips, and jumps over here. I'm going to save you a lot of time. All these people trying to reinvent the sport. It doesn't need reinventing. When the sport was doing its best, it was way back in the day. Why? Because people knew how to train. Nowadays, try this, try that, take a picture of me. No. If you want to be better at competition, running for a half an hour. Jog a half an hour. And you want to do that, if you're in competition, you want to do that 5 to 6 days a week. 5 to 6 days a week. It's jogging. You're not going to bust your gut. It's jogging for 30 minutes, 5 or 6 days a week, depending on how much training you're doing. Okay? So that's it. You're in competition, stay off the treadmill, get on the road. If you're just trying to get in shape, get your body right, get on the treadmill. Okay? It works fine. All right. That's it, guys. That's all I got for you today. Hopefully that's good enough. Okay? We'll do another boxing video up here pretty soon. We just had a tough week. Our week was Halloween just passed, and we do a big, huge event for Halloween. We literally, it takes days. We start it in August. And we build and build and build up until Halloween night, and then it's a lot to clean up, a lot to put together, and now we're transitioning to Christmas. Yes, we start Christmas now already. So anyway, that's why I haven't been able to put anything up lately. But all right, we'll get back at it. You guys go out and buy some things. So now you know. So anyway, this is my information for you. Like and subscribe if you can. Toss this over to somebody else. Let them know if they're interested. Anyway, I'm just spitting the knowledge that I got from all the years I had in this crazy sport. So, all right, guys. Hope you have a great one. We'll talk to you soon.